Imagine this. You're relaxing at a lively cafe, enjoying your favorite latte. Unnoticed by you, a hidden camera snaps a picture of your face. In mere seconds, an algorithm scans your features, compares them with a database, and flags you, simply because you look like someone on their list. Welcome to a reality where your face is your constant ID and it could be used against you. Now let's delve into the core of facial recognition. You've encountered it, whether while snapping a selfie to cover your coffee bill or gliding through airport security as if you've stepped into a sci-fi flick. But have you ever stopped to think about the tech magic that makes it all happen? Facial recognition begins by scanning an image or video for a face. Upon detection, it starts analyzing unique facial features like the distance between eyes or the contour of lips, almost like solving a puzzle in real time. This isn't merely a measurement task. It employs computer vision, a form of artificial intelligence, to interpret what it sees with precision, understanding even the depth of eye sockets or cheekbone shape. This data is then converted into a numerical code known as a face print, acting as your unique facial signature, ensuring that no two face prints are alike. You might think, is this tech really that precise? In a controlled setting, it's near perfect. However, real-world factors like lighting, camera quality, or aging can affect its accuracy slightly, yet it remains highly accurate. So, when your phone unlocks with a glance, remember, it's not just scanning your face, but analyzing, measuring, and verifying it quickly to ensure you're the real deal, all in a flash before you can utter facial recognition. Welcome to the future. But here's where things start to take a dark turn, and the technology is used on a massive scale for not-so-good reasons. Let's talk about China, a country that's taken facial recognition to a whole new level, and not in the way you'd hope. China has been building its surveillance state for years, and it's not just a couple of cameras here and there. We're talking about a network so extensive that it's got its own name, the Skynet system. No, it's not the one from Terminator, but it's almost as intimidating. Launched in 2005, Skynet had over 20 million cameras by 2013, and these cameras are not just watching. They're equipped with facial recognition technology. They're installed everywhere, from busy city streets to quiet rural villages, and even outside places of worship like mosques in Xinjiang and temples in Tibet. Now, let's talk about the Sharp Eyes program, another Orwellian project aimed at making sense of surveillance data. Launched in 2015, this program is designed to integrate data from various sources, including your online activities. So it's not just about where you go, it's also about what you do, who you talk to, and what you talk about. And if that wasn't enough, China has also introduced a social credit system, essentially creating a world where you're given a score based on your behavior, and that score determines what you can or cannot do. Want to book a flight or a high-speed train ticket? Better make sure your social credit score is up to the mark. This system is integrated with the mass surveillance network, making it easier for the government to monitor and control its citizens. It's like living in a constant state of audition, where you're always being judged, and the judges are not just people, they're algorithms. Now you might be thinking, well, maybe it's for the greater good, maybe it's for security. But here's where things get murky. This extensive surveillance network is not just for catching criminals, it's also for suppressing dissent. People who dare to speak against the government or engage in acts of protest may find themselves and their families targeted. Specifically, the Chinese government is accused of using this technology to commit atrocities against Uyghur Muslims. They're not just tracking these people, they're profiling them based on their ethnicity. It's like they're using technology to fuel discrimination and mistreatment. And it's not just the Uyghurs. Anyone who doesn't fit into their narrow definition of acceptable behavior is a target. In Hong Kong, the technology has been weaponized by authorities to identify and target protesters, effectively turning anonymity, a cornerstone of civil protest, into a luxury. Protesters have had to resort to disabling facial recognition features on their phones and wearing masks, not as a fashion statement, but as a necessity for safeguarding their identities. This scenario acts as a warning signal to the globe. It's not just about the technology, but how it's wielded and by whom. But interestingly, the drama doesn't stop here. In some cases, individuals have been blacklisted and barred from entering mainland China. Fingerprints and facial scans are required when crossing into mainland China from any immigration control points, like going through a digital strip search, where your biometric data is your vulnerability. And this data is stored and used for various purposes, including targeting and suppressing dissent. And let's not forget about the tech companies that are in on this. Companies like Baidu have cooperated with airlines to install facial recognition technology for boarding. Even robot police have been installed in public places like train stations and museums, which somewhat evokes a dystopian scene where machines rule and privacy is a myth. With that said, let's dive deeper into the challenges of facial recognition, not just in China, but the whole world. Have you ever wondered what happens to your face data once it's scanned? Who's keeping tabs on you? And what are they doing with that information? These questions are not just food for thought, they're pressing issues that need immediate attention. When it comes to ethics, the first thing that pops up is racial bias. Imagine being wrongly flagged as a criminal by a system due to your skin color. Sadly, this isn't fiction. Studies reveal facial recognition algorithms often misidentify individuals with darker skin tones. This major flaw, far from a minor glitch, can lead to wrongful arrests, unjust treatment, and potential police violence. Now, let's talk about Big Brother watching you. As we've already seen, governments are using facial recognition to keep an eye on everyone, everywhere, all the time. This constant surveillance doesn't just invade your privacy, it strips away your freedom. You're always being watched, judged, and analyzed. While the technology is quite secure, it's not foolproof. Your face is a unique identifier, and if leaked, there's no undoing it. It's not a matter of if, but when. Hackers will breach databases to steal facial data. The fallout could be severe, like criminals using your face for illegal activities, but unlike passwords, you can't change your face. Now, the European Union has already taken steps by banning facial recognition in public spaces for up to 5 years. It's high time other countries followed suit. Transparency is another key factor. Organizations using facial recognition should disclose how they're using the data and for what purpose. And let's not forget about consent. No one should use your face data without your explicit permission. But laws alone won't solve the problem. The technology itself needs an overhaul. Developers need to work on making algorithms that are unbiased and accurate, and they need to do it fast. We're in a race against time here. Every day that passes without a solution is another day when someone's life could be ruined by a flawed system. In the end, facial recognition technology is like fire. In the right hands, it can light up a room, cook our food, and keep us warm. But in the wrong hands, it can burn down entire communities. As we stand at this technological crossroads, we must ask ourselves, will we become the firefighters who control this powerful tool, or will we be the ones getting burned? If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and sharing so we can keep bringing more content like this. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.